The next session is going to be slightly different from the others. And what I'm going to be focusing on now is how you can take findings from behavioral science and apply them to the world of marketing. Now, if you're not familiar with this phrase, behavioral science, it's nothing complicated. It's essentially what was known as psychology. And it's a field that I've been studying for the last 20 years or so. And the main theme of behavioral science is that it's the study of how people actually behave rather than how they claim to behave. And those two things are wildly different. Now, if there's a broad theme to this field, it's summed up very well by this lady, Susan Fiske. So she's a psychologist at Princeton, and she says, when people are deciding how to behave, what beer to pick in a pub, what shampoo to pick in a supermarket, one of the key factors in their decision-making is that they are cognitive misers. Now, Fiske is an academic, and she has a tendency to overcomplicate things, as many academics do. But this phrase, cognitive misers, has been summed up more wittily by her former colleague, Daniel Kahneman. And Kahneman famously said, thinking is to humans as swimming is to cats. Now, they can do it, but they'd prefer not to. Now, neither of these academics is trying to be rude about people. Now, they worked at Princeton, they deal with some of the most intelligent people in the world. They're aware that we can put people on the moon, we can build iPhones. But they're also very well aware that from an evolutionary perspective, thinking is an energy-intensive behavior. And from an evolutionary perspective, energy is a scarce resource. So we have evolved to ration deep, considered thought. And for most of our decisions, whether it's in the office or in the supermarket, most decisions are not made in a deep, thoughtful way. They're made in a quick, snap, reflexive way. We make immediate decisions, emotional, intuitive decisions. Now, the way that humans make these decisions is to use what psychologists call heuristics, what you and I might just call rules of thumb. And each of us has a catalogue in our mind of thousands of rules of thumb that help us decide quickly. Those rules should interest all of us as marketers because they are prone to bias. And if you know what these biases are, when you're trying to influence people, when you're creating marketing campaigns, if you know about the biases, you can work with human nature rather than against it. And my argument today is it is always, always, always more effective to work with human nature rather than against it.